I'm working on a course to explain the behind the scenes of payroll. Not necessarily what it is or how to process it, but once it gets processed, how do you get that information into QuickBooks? I realize I should take a step back because not everybody understands what payroll is. Payroll, just on a high level, is the way that you pay your employees. A big picture, you commit to paying your employees a specific dollar amount, and then from that dollar amount, you have to deduct various types of taxes and remit those taxes to various agencies. So it could be federal agencies, state agencies, or local agencies. From there, it gets more complicated if you have things like health insurance or retirement. But just big picture, it's you promise to pay someone for the work that they do. You pay them a flat rate, or you pay them a percentage of something, or you pay them a salary, deduct taxes, everybody's happy. The alternative to payroll is to have somebody as an independent contractor. For example, when you hire me, whether you're hiring me for ongoing bookkeeping or for quick consultation, you're not going to get my social security number and put me on payroll and deduct taxes. Instead, you're going to pay my firm, you're going to pay at a specific dollar amount, and that's that. And it's up to me to remit my taxes. Independent contractors are given a 1099 at the end of the year, whereas employees are given a W-2. There is no such thing as a 1099 employee or a contractor employee or independent contractor W-2. That's conflating the two things. Whenever somebody is new to hiring a team member, I always encourage them to take a look at the IRS website as well as the Department of Labor for their state to identify, is the person they're hiring an independent contractor or an employee? It's not enough to just decide that you're going to declare someone to be something. Like, there's actual rules and regulations behind it. I'm not going to read this to you because I feel like you can read it on your own. I just really wanted you to see, here's a page on the IRS website that talks about the differences, determining if someone is this or that, and some common rules and regulations. If you have questions about it, I would 100% encourage you to call the Department of Labor for your state. The IRS rules are federal. The Department of Labor might be more strict or specific, so it's always better to call where the person is working and saying, hey, I'm thinking about hiring a person to do X, Y, and Z. How do I know if I should classify them as a contractor or as an employee? Okay, moving on from that, let's talk about different payroll softwares. I just Googled payroll software, and U.S. News and World Report has an article updated January 2025 where they talk about different payroll softwares. So here's their ranking. So the first one on the list is OnPay. I've worked with clients who have OnPay. It's very user-friendly from the client side as well as from the bookkeeping side. Homebase I've never heard of. Patriot I've heard of but never used. Paychex, I definitely have clients who use it. It says that it's the best for customer support, and that may be true. I find that their reports are a little bit challenging to get and read through and find what I'm looking for, but it's not awful. Best for extra features is ADP. I kind of feel the same about them as I do for Paychex. Best benefit administration is Gusto. Gusto I've used for many, many years. They're a lot like OnPay, real simple user interface, easy to connect with QuickBooks, easy to get the reports. OnPay and Gusto are definitely the two that I recommend for very, very small businesses. You just need, a handful of people on payroll. You need stuff easy. You don't want to pull your hair out. You don't want to commit to some lengthy sales phone call. Either of these would be fine. Best for remote or mobile access is Intuit QuickBooks. I would never recommend. I do not recommend. I do not help anybody who has Intuit QuickBooks Payroll. Intuit QuickBooks Payroll is almost always going to be messed up, and it's very difficult to fix it. So I'm just going to pretend like I can't even see it. So it says best for international payroll is Rippling. I don't have any experience with Rippling. I used Horizons. The website is joinhorizons.com. When I had Megan, because the business is based in Washington State and Megan is based in Ontario, Canada, I needed to pay her as a proper employee. She didn't have a business. She was just my person. So this is what I used. Go back to the list. Best for contractors is Square. I have clients who use Square Payroll, and I tolerate it, but I don't love it. And best value is Wave. I don't have anybody who uses Wave Payroll, and I have no experience with it. My point in showing you this is that you're going to hear about payroll options, and you're going to hear your friend and your hairdresser say, this is the best one ever, you've got to use this one. They're all going to be good, and they're all going to be frustrating, and there are a ton of options. There are way more options than what we see here. This is just one article. So let me just run through a couple of them with you. So ADP, let's say that you have a situation where you have one employee, you're interested in payroll. Let's see here. We have to go through extra stuff to get pricing. Let me see if get pricing gets us somewhere. Next, payroll. Okay, so I only want payroll. I don't want HR. Number of employees, 1, company A at A.com. Yeah, this very much feels like I'm going to have a conversation with a person to get a quote. So let's go ahead and close that. Let's go to Gusto next. Products, I want to talk about payroll. Oh, there was plans and pricing in the upper right and I missed it. Let's go to pricing. I like that it's simple. I do not need extra complicated bells and whistles to find my pricing. They have different kinds of payroll, but their base payroll is $40 a month. Plus time and attendance. I know that it's more than 40 a month. Oh, here we go. 40 plus $6 per person. So that feels clear. Clear knowing that I had to look for the $6. National Payroll Institute. Oh, I brought this one up because this I saw a billboard for this the other day when I was out to dinner. So I live in Ottawa, Ontario, but I'm from the US and I handle US bookkeeping. But there was a big billboard that said, basically payroll is hard. And then I had a website, Payroll.ca. And I was like, oh, this is nice. So if you're from Canada and you're curious about payroll, first of all, I don't know anything, can't help you. Second of all, Payroll.ca seems like they have a bunch of education and information and could be really useful. So I'm going to close it. QuickBooks Payroll, it exists. I don't recommend it. I don't support it. I don't fix it when it goes wrong. So I'm just going to close it after acknowledging that it's an option if you want it. Paychex, let's just take a look and see. Request pricing very much feels like I'm not going to get pricing. It feels like I'm going to have to talk to a person. Yeah, we're not doing that. And then Joint Horizons is what I showed you. The only thing I didn't pull up and now I want to is OnPay. Let's go to the pricing tab and just see. Simple. $40 a month plus $6. It's the same as Gusto with the 40 plus 6. Gusto has different kinds of payrolls. So you can have regular, we'll process your payroll and pay your taxes. Or we can also bundle in HR and do some other stuff. At its core, payroll is making sure your people get paid and the taxes get filed. The add-on options that are available is stuff like benefit management and HR and other things that you may or may not need. When you're thinking about payroll and you're trying to decide, okay, I know I need payroll, I know I have an employee, I know I need some sort of software, what do I use? I would recommend just taking a look at reviews, take a look at different websites. They're pretty much all the same. If you have a bookkeeper, ask your bookkeeper what they recommend. If you don't, ask your tax person what they recommend. Otherwise, just pick anything. Anything other than QuickBooks Payroll? If you're watching this video because you have payroll and something has gone haywire within your payroll, you're welcome to contact me and I'm totally happy to try to help you. If I can't help you, or if you're using QuickBooks Payroll, then I would suggest you take a look at Payroll Restoration. I offer bookkeeping services, training services, some coaching, consulting, if I can help you, I will kind of services. Payroll Restoration exclusively focuses on fixing broken payroll. So if you're feeling very frustrated and you're pulling your hair out, this is a company that specializes in making it better. So that's my extra tip for you. If I can't help you, this is probably the solution who can.